Okay, today's lesson is fractions, and some people get a little freaked out about fractions, but hopefully we're going to clear that up today. This is going to be a lot of hands-on, just kind of experimentation. We're not going to do a whole lot of math here. We're going to just have some fun and try to understand what the concept is behind fractions. So we're going to start off. All you need is a pen or a marking pen or a pencil, crayon, whatever you've got, and then scissors and a notebook. And basically we're going to start off, we're just going to take this notebook, we're going to take a blank sheet out of the notebook and rip it out. And then we're going to take our scissors and along the pink margin of your paper we're going to cut that out. You don't necessarily have to, but just so we don't have the perforated edge to deal with, we're going to cut there right along the margin there. And now that we've got that done, now we've got one piece of paper, and it's in a rectangular shape. We're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half lengthwise. We're going to have two equally sized parts here, right smack in the middle. And then we open it up, and there we have it, two equally sized parts. We're going to take our pen now, and we're just going to mark the one of the pieces, not both, just one of the pieces. And those of you that are artists can have lots of fun here and shade it in any way you want, but I'm not much of an artist, so I'm just gonna have some diagonal lines here going this way, and maybe a few diagonal lines going this way. This is one of the two pieces that I'm shading in. Now I've got one of the two pieces shaded in, and we've just created a fraction. Here we've got one piece shaded in, and we've got two pieces that make up a whole, and that's a fraction. If you notice here, you've got in a fraction, you've got two numbers. The parts that you have, in this case, you've got one part on the top, right? That's the number of parts we have shaded in, and the parts for a whole are what's on the bottom. And we've got two parts that make up one whole piece of paper. So our fraction here is going to be 1, because that's going to be 1 on the top here, and then we've got two pieces which make up a whole on the bottom. And that's our first fraction. We're now going to find equivalent fractions. So we're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half again. And now we fold it in half again. We're going to make an equivalent fraction. Let's see. What do we have on the bottom? The bottom is a number of pieces that make a whole. So on the bottom we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes 4 pieces that make up a whole, and we've got 1, 2 of them that are shaded in. All right, so there's our next fraction. We're going to make another fraction. Guess what? We're going to fold this in half again. Imagine that. So we're going to fold it one more time now, and you guys can all do this at home. And we've got, now what do we have on the bottom? The bottom is a number of parts that make up a whole. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that make up a whole on the bottom. And on the top we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are shaded in. We're going to go one more time. So now we've got, here's what we originally had. Now we're going to fold it one more time here, and you can continue doing this at home as many times as you really want to, and you can come up with some really crazy fractions here, right? We've got, now how many pieces make up a whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pieces make up a whole, so that's the number that goes in the bottom. 16 of those little squares make up a whole. And now we've got what's the number on the top? The number on the top is the number of parts that we have shaded in. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there we go. There's 8. So those are all equivalent fractions. 1/2 equals 2/4 equals 4/8 equals 8/16. And you can continue on if you want at home, taking this paper and folding it as many more times as you'd like.